Hey there, fellow coin lovers. Now, you've probably heard that some coins are worth a pretty penny, but have you ever thought a coin could actually be worth $1 million? Sounds like a dream, right? Well, grab your magnifying glass and put on your treasure hunting hat, because today we're talking about a super rare coin that could make you a small fortune. We're diving deep into the 1973 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and how it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. But hold on tight, because I'm about to tell you how and why this coin is the jackpot of all pennies. Let's start with a little history lesson, because every great treasure has a backstory. In 1973, the U.S. Mint was busy cranking out pennies with the familiar S mint mark for San Francisco or D for Denver. But here's the twist. Some pennies slipped through the cracks without a mint mark, and these rare little guys have since become highly sought after by collectors. But why does that missing mint mark make such a huge difference? Well, it's like finding a secret level in a video game. That one missing detail makes the coin incredibly rare. You see, the mint marks are usually there to show where the coin was produced. Without it, it's almost like the coin is saying, "Hey, I don't belong here, but I'm special." And that's exactly why collectors are going wild for the 1973 penny with no mint mark. Now, let's get into the real magic, the value. Normally, a 1973 penny is worth, what, a penny? Maybe two if you're lucky. But the mint markless version? That's a whole different ballgame. It's so rare that it could fetch up to $1.8 million in the right auction. Talk about a lucky break. You could be looking at an amount so high that even your cat might start demanding a share of the profits. So, how can you find one? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? You need to hunt through your pennies. Yes, I mean literally every penny you can get your hands on. And trust me, this is the part where most people's dreams get crushed. The chances of finding one are about as slim as winning the lottery. But hey, people do get lucky. I know a guy who found a rare coin in his grandma's jar of pennies, and that coin ended up being worth thousands. Now, I've got to be honest. I remember the first time I tried to search through my own coin collection to see if I had any hidden gems. I thought, how hard could it be? I've got a whole jar of pennies. It's like a treasure chest. Well, spoiler alert. After what felt like hours of sifting through dirty pennies, I found a very shiny 2005 penny. Yippee! Not quite what I was looking for. I felt a little defeated, but hey, that's the game, right? Sometimes you win. Sometimes you just get better at knowing what not to look for. So, if you're thinking, maybe my childhood piggy bank has one of these elusive 1973 no mint mark pennies hiding inside, more power to you. Start searching, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next one on the news for finding a rare coin worth millions. How do I keep up with all these cool coin tips? Well, here's the deal. If you want to be in the loop about coins worth big money, strategies for collecting, and other rare finds that could seriously fatten your wallet, then hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, drop a like on this video to show me you're on the hunt for treasure too. Remember, the world of coins is full of surprises. Some shiny, some old, and some that'll make you feel like you've struck gold. I'll be right here with more stories, tips, and laughs, so don't miss out. Subscribe now, and maybe, just maybe, we'll uncover the next big find together. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. You ever hear about a penny that could be worth more than your car? No, I'm not talking about some wild fantasy. There's actually a 1970 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's been making waves in the numismatic world. And get this, it could be worth up to $1 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1 million for a penny. Not bad for something that usually just gets tossed around like spare change. So, if you've got a jar of old coins sitting in your drawer, keep watching, because you might just have a hidden treasure worth a fortune. Let's dive in and find out what makes this 1970 penny so special, and why it's got coin collectors and investors alike doing double takes. All right, let's break it down. Most pennies from 1970 are, well, not exactly collector's items. They're mostly worth their face value, a penny. But there's a rare exception that can turn your everyday coin into a small fortune. The secret lies in the mint mark. If you've ever had a penny from 1970, you've probably noticed a tiny little letter on the bottom of the coin, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. These mint marks tell you where the coin was produced. But it's the ones with the right mint mark, the 1970s, that are worth more than just pocket change. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, a 1970 penny, but why would that be worth $1 million? Here's where it gets crazy. Not all of those 1970s pennies were made the same. Some of them were struck with a proof-like finish, meaning they came out looking exceptionally shiny and detailed for their time. These were supposed to be kept in sets, not released into circulation. But some of them, by pure accident, got mixed in with the regular pennies that made their way into your pockets. So, why is this a big deal? Well, a 1970s penny with the proof-like finish is extremely rare, and coin collectors will pay top dollar for them. When one of these pennies was found in 2018, it sold for over $1 million at auction. That's not a typo. A single penny. And that's why people are going nuts over 1970 pennies now. But how can you tell if you've got one of these $1 million coins? Good question. Here's a tip. It's all about the quality of the strike and the finish. If the penny looks extra shiny, almost like a mirror, and has sharp details, it might be one of the rare ones. A normal, worn-out penny won't cut it. Trust me, I've looked through thousands of pennies myself and found nothing but, well, more pennies. But hey, you never know. Now, let me tell you a little story about my own coin hunting experience. I was at a flea market one Saturday morning, looking through a box of old coins when I spotted something that looked a little different. It wasn't a 1970 penny, but it was a shiny coin with a little more detail than usual. I got all excited, thinking I had just found a hidden gem. Long story short, it wasn't worth much more than the $2 I paid for it. But the thrill of thinking I was about to become a millionaire for just a second? Totally worth it. So, here's my advice. Don't go pulling all your change out of your pockets just yet. But if you do find one of these rare 1970s pennies, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Or, in this case, a penny mine. So, what can we learn from all this? The 1970s Lincoln penny is one of those rare finds that can turn a humble penny into a hefty sum, possibly even $1 million payday if you're lucky. But before you start sifting through your loose change, remember, these pennies are super rare, and finding one will require a little bit of luck and a lot of patience. If you're still thinking about how much you could be worth with a lucky find, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on coins that could be worth way more than you think. I'll be back with more secrets to help you unlock your collection's hidden value. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned coin collector, there's always something new to learn. And I'm here to make it as fun as finding treasure. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Let me ask you a question. What if I told you that a penny, yes, a single penny, could be worth more than a shiny new car? You'd probably think I've lost my mind, right? But trust me, you're about to find out about a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million, and it's hiding in your pocket right now, maybe even in your couch cushions. So, buckle up, because today we're diving into the 1992 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and what makes it worth way more than its face value. Alright, let's set the stage. We've all heard the saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. But let me tell you, sometimes a penny found could be worth a whole lot more than you'd expect, like $1.4 million more. That's right, the 1992 D Lincoln penny is making waves in the coin collecting world and not just for being old. So, what makes this penny so special? First off, let's talk about the mint mark. You see, the D stands for the Denver Mint, which is where this particular coin was struck. Most of us have probably come across a handful of these pennies, but what we don't know is that a small percentage of them have a major flaw. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of flaw could make a penny worth millions? Well, I'll tell you. Some 1992 D pennies were struck with a minting error that caused the D mint mark to be double-stamped. That's right, instead of a single, crisp mint mark, you'll see a blurry, doubled D right there on the penny's reverse side. So why does this make the coin worth so much? Well, collectors go wild for rare and unique coins, especially ones with minting errors. That tiny mistake, which seems like no big deal to most of us, is what drives up the value. Imagine finding a coin that's been sitting in your pocket, or even in your spare change jar, and realizing it's a rare double mint error penny. You could literally be holding a small fortune in your hand. I know it sounds unbelievable, but it's true. Now, let me share a personal story. A couple of years ago, I was going through a box of old coins my grandma had saved up. I wasn't expecting anything too crazy, just a bunch of pennies from the 60s and 70s. But as I was flipping through them, one penny caught my eye. It was a 1992 D, and when I looked closely, I saw that double D mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I had no idea that this little penny could be worth so much, but I instantly thought, this could be the one. Unfortunately, it wasn't the rare double mint penny I hoped for, but it definitely taught me to keep an eye out for these little treasures. If you're ever going through your change or coin collections, pay attention to details. The tiniest things can turn a regular penny into a collector's dream. So, let's talk about what you need to do if you think you've got a 1992 D double mint penny on your hands. First off, take a close look at the mint mark. Is it doubled? If yes, congratulations. You might just be sitting on a gold mine. But before you get too excited, make sure you get it authenticated. You can have a professional coin grader confirm whether your penny is indeed the real deal. It might cost a little bit to have it graded, but trust me, if it turns out to be the real thing, it could pay off big time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do I have a 1992 D double mint penny? Well, you won't know unless you take a closer look. So, next time you're sorting through your coins, keep your eyes peeled for any double mint marks. And remember, it's not just pennies you should be looking out for. Coins with minting errors can be worth a lot more than their face value. So don't throw away that pocket change just yet. Before you go, I've got one last thing to say. If you want more tips on coins worth money, strategies to grow your collection, and a little bit of coin collecting humor, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on more hidden treasures just waiting to be discovered. Who knows? The next $1 million coin could be sitting in your change jar right now. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting, everyone. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and treasure hunters? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever found a coin lying around that you just thought was totally normal, maybe tossed it in a jar or your pocket change, and then, years later, realized it was worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your pennies because that's exactly what we're talking about today. Yes, I'm talking about the 2006 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. No, it's not some kind of magical penny that makes wishes come true. But this little coin could make your wallet very happy if you've got the right one. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be checking your spare change for one of these. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2006 D Mint Mark penny. For most people, it's just another penny, right? Well, that's where the story gets interesting. You see, this coin is worth a lot more than just 1 cent. In fact, some of them have been known to sell for up to $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A penny could be worth more than your car, your couch, and maybe even your entire Netflix subscription combined. Now, how in the world does a humble penny become worth a small fortune? Well, it comes down to a couple of factors. First off, we're talking about a minting error. That's the secret ingredient in this recipe for coin magic. The error is what's known as a double die variety, which means the design was accidentally struck twice on the coin. This creates a noticeable doubling effect on things like the date or the lettering, and that, my friends, makes it a rare, valuable piece of history. But here's the thing. It's not just any 2060 penny that'll make you a millionaire. Only a few of these double die pennies exist, and they're incredibly hard to find. So, what are the chances you have one in your pocket right now? Let me break it down for you. First, you've got to look at the mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where these pennies were made. So, if you find a 2006 penny with that D mint mark, you're halfway there. Then, you need to inspect it for that telltale doubling effect. Look at the date 2006 closely. If it looks like it's been stamped twice, kind of blurry or doubled up, congratulations, you might be holding a $1.6 million treasure. I'll be honest with you. When I first got into coin collecting, I thought I'd just end up with a collection of old, dusty pennies, maybe find a few cool foreign coins or something. But one day, I was going through a jar of coins, and I found what I thought was just a regular 2006 penny. I didn't think much of it at first, but I noticed it looked a little weird. The 2006 seemed just a tad thicker than usual. At the time, I didn't know about these rare double die pennies, so I just tossed it back into the jar with all the others. Fast forward a few years, and I'm talking to a coin dealer, and he mentions these 2060 pennies. I froze. I ran home, grabbed my old jar of change, and sure enough, there it was. My very own 2060 penny with the doubling error. But of course, it wasn't worth $1.6 million. I wish. It turned out to be a common variety, nothing special. Still, I learned an important lesson. Never overlook a coin, even if it looks like just a regular penny. You just never know. Now, let's talk about how you can actually find one of these coins. First things first, go through your pennies. Look through your change, your spare change jar, even the coins you throw in your couch cushions, you know you've got them there. Inspect each 2060 penny carefully for that doubling error. Don't get discouraged if you don't find one right away. These things are super rare, so you might have to go through a lot of pennies before finding a winner, if you find one at all. But remember, sometimes the hunt is just as fun as the treasure. Plus, there are tons of other coins out there worth more than their face value. If you enjoy this kind of treasure hunt, trust me, you'll be hooked on coin collecting in no time. And hey, while you're at it, why not check out other coins you have lying around? Sometimes, the most unexpected finds turn out to be the most valuable, so, to wrap things up, keep an eye on your 2060 pennies. If you find one with that double die error, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. But even if you don't find the $1 million penny, there are plenty of other valuable coins waiting to be discovered in your pockets, jars, or drawers. If you want more tips on what coins to look for, how to spot a rare one, and how to build your own collection that could be worth something in the future, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join me on this coin collecting journey, and who knows, maybe you'll find your own fortune someday. Hey there, coin lovers. You ever found a coin in your pocket and thought, it's just pocket change? Well, you might want to double check before tossing it in your spare change jar, because one coin, yes, just one, could be worth a cool $1.2 million. Hold on to your pennies, folks, because today we're diving into the wild world of the 1969 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You heard me right. A penny worth over $1 million. No joke. Stick around, this is going to be a fun ride. Okay, so let's break it down. The 1969 D Lincoln penny doesn't look like anything special at first glance, right? It's a typical copper penny. But here's the catch. There's a super rare variety of this penny that can fetch up to $1.2 million in today's market. What makes this penny so special? The real kicker is something called a double die error. That's when the coin's design gets struck twice, giving the details, like the date or lettering, this extra, blurry, almost ghostly appearance. In the case of the 1969 D penny, some of these coins have an obvious double image of Liberty and In God We Trust. It's not subtle either. You can spot it pretty easily if you know what you're looking for. Now, you might be wondering, how can a simple mistake on a coin make it worth over $1 million? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. A double die error like this is extremely rare, and there aren't many of them floating around. So, the lucky person who finds one of these treasures could end up sitting on a fortune. But, I hear you. I don't know if I've got $1 million penny in my piggy bank. Trust me, I've been there too. I once found a coin in my pocket I thought was worth something. I was so excited I almost skipped to the bank to cash it in. But then I realized it was just a 1972 penny, not a rare one. Talk about a letdown. It's all about knowing what to look for, folks. Not all 1969 D pennies are worth a fortune, but here's the thing. If you've got one, and you think it could be a double die error, it's worth taking a closer look. Get out your magnifying glass or, your reading glasses if you're like me, and start inspecting the details. So, let's say you do find one of these $1 million beauties. What then? Well, you'd probably want to get it graded by a professional. That means sending it off to a reputable coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC, who will give it a grade based on its condition and authenticity. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A perfect specimen could easily net you a fortune. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Before you start checking every 1969 D penny you come across, remember, these aren't exactly common. Most 1969 D pennies won't make you rich. But if you do find one of these double die beauties, you could be looking at a windfall that most of us can only dream about. Now, here's the important part. If you want more tips on how to spot rare coins and make some serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where we talk about other coins worth way more than their face value. Who knows, your next coin could be the jackpot. And if you've got a coin collection sitting in a box somewhere, take a look. Maybe you've got a hidden treasure waiting for you to find it. Or, at least, a cool story to tell at your next family gathering. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you hear a coin drop, it might be the sound of your future fortune. Hey there, coin collectors and curious folks. Imagine walking around your neighborhood, just minding your own business, when you find a coin on the ground. You pick it up, rub it between your fingers, and it's a 1984 penny. You think, ah, just another penny. No big deal. But what if I told you that exact penny, without a mint mark, could be worth $1.7 million? Yup, you heard that right, $1.7 million. Stick around because I'm about to break down why that seemingly ordinary penny is anything but ordinary. And trust me, you'll want to hear this. Alright, let's dive in. You've probably seen a ton of pennies with that little mint mark on the front. It's the small D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But what if your penny has no mint mark? That, my friend, could be a game changer. Here's the deal. The 1984 penny with no mint mark is extremely rare. You see, the US Mint typically puts a mint mark on coins to show where they were made, and most 1984 pennies were made in Philadelphia, so they were stamped with the mint mark P. But a few 1984 pennies slipped through the cracks, no mint mark at all. And that mistake has created a huge market for these unmarked treasures. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, because it's a rarity. People love rare things. Think about it. When you go to a flea market, the rare, vintage item is usually the one that catches your eye and your wallet. The same logic applies here. When a coin collector finds a penny with no mint mark, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, and it instantly boosts the coin's value. So, how much is it worth? You're probably thinking, okay, it's rare, but is it really worth a fortune? Well, yes. In fact, some of these no mint mark 1984 pennies have been sold for an incredible $1.7 million at auctions. That's not a typo. $1.7 million for a penny. It's almost like finding a treasure chest, but without the map. But here's the kicker. Finding one of these rare pennies isn't exactly easy. It's not like you're going to go to your local convenience store and find one under the counter. These pennies are super hard to come by. There were only a handful of them made, and they've been circulating for decades. Most people don't even realize what they have, so they're out there, hiding in plain sight in your pocket change or your coin jar. I remember one time. I'll be honest, when I was first getting into coin collecting, I was obsessing over finding rare coins like this. I started checking my spare change with a magnifying glass like I was some sort of coin detective. I even asked my grandma if she had any old pennies lying around. She handed me a 1980s penny and said, "Is this it?" Of course, I didn't find anything worth millions. But hey, the search was part of the fun. If you're lucky enough to find one of these 1984 no mint mark pennies, you've just stumbled upon a gold mine, literally. But don't get too excited just yet. If you find one, make sure to have it professionally graded by a coin expert before you think about selling it. Condition is everything when it comes to coins, and if it's in mint condition, well, that's when it could fetch that $1.7 million price tag. So, what should you do if you think you have one of these rare pennies? First, check for the mint mark on the front. If you don't see a D or S, you've got a potential treasure. Next, get that penny checked out by a professional. A certified numismatist will be able to tell you whether it's real and in what condition it's in. You want to be sure before you start imagining your life as a millionaire. So, there you have it. The 1984 no mint mark penny is one of the rarest and most valuable pennies you could ever come across, and it might just make you a millionaire. It's an exciting find, but remember, condition is key, and proper grading is the way to go. Keep your eyes peeled the next time you're digging through your loose change. Now, before you go off hunting for your fortune, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got more coin tips and strategies coming your way that could help you find even more valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Plus, I've got plenty of stories, like the time I thought I found a rare coin, only to realize it was a button. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. So, you're sitting at home, maybe just sipping your coffee, and you happen to look down at a penny in your pocket. Now, let me guess, you're thinking, it's just a penny, probably worth like 1 cent, right? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. In fact, there's a 1995 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that just recently sold for a whopping $1.1 million. Stick around because in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this coin, how to spot it, and what to do if you happen to find one in your spare change. All right, let's take it from the top. Back in 1995, the US Mint churned out a ton of pennies, but one of them, one special penny, made a big splash in the world of coin collectors. Now, you're probably asking, what's so special about a regular penny from 1995? And why the heck would it be worth more than a car or even a house? Great question. Let me explain. So, this 1995 D penny is not just any old penny. Most pennies you find today, especially from the 90s, have been mass-produced with little fanfare. But one small error in the minting process led to a truly unique penny. It's called a double die error. No, it's not some cool new dance move or the latest TikTok challenge. The double die refers to a mistake where the die that stamps the coin was misaligned, causing the design of Abraham Lincoln and the date to appear twice. Kinda like an optical illusion on a coin. You're flipping through your change and you spot a penny. You think, it's just a 1995 penny. No big deal, right? But hold up. If that penny has the D Mint mark and the engraving of Lincoln and the date is a little fuzzy, well, guess what? You might have just found yourself a treasure. Now, you're probably not going to find this exact penny at the local coffee shop anytime soon, but I do have a little story for you that's pretty funny and might just help you understand how rare this situation is. A couple of years ago, I was at a yard sale, digging through a box of old coins. You know, the usual, I'm looking for a gold mine, but I'll probably find nothing scenario. And there it was, a penny from 1995. I thought, hey, this could be it. I checked it under a magnifying glass, and nothing seemed off. It was just a regular penny. But here's the kicker. I walked away with a $3 bargain for a stack of pennies and quarters. Moral of the story? Keep looking, but also, don't expect every penny to be a hidden treasure. However, if you stumble across one of these 1995 D double die pennies, you might just strike it big. Okay, now let's get back to that $1.1 million figure. Why such a big price tag for a coin that looks so ordinary? Well, the rarity of the 1995 D double die penny is what drives its value through the roof. There aren't many of them around, and the ones that are in mint condition, and I mean pristine, are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of these rare pennies was auctioned off for over $1 million, making it one of the most sought-after coins in recent history. But before you start digging through every penny jar in your house hoping to find that one-in-a-million coin, let me throw in a little reality check. These coins are rare, folks. Super rare. In fact, most of the 1995 D double die pennies that are out there are in pretty rough condition, which means they won't fetch that $1 million price tag. But hey, don't let that discourage you. Even pennies in decent condition can still be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, some of them have been selling for several $1,000s at auctions. Oh, let's wrap it up. The 1995 D Abraham Lincoln double die penny is definitely a rare find. And while it's not something you're going to find every day, it's worth keeping an eye out for. If you happen to come across one of these in your change, don't just toss it in the jar. Give it a closer look. Who knows? You could be holding on to a small fortune. Before you go, I've got a challenge for you. Take a look through your change, check your pockets, and see if you have any 1995 pennies lying around. If you find one, don't forget to check for that double die error. And hey, even if you don't find one, make sure to subscribe because we've got tons of tips on rare coins and money-making strategies that could put you on the path to some real treasure. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, have you ever looked at your change jar and wondered if you're sitting on a small fortune? Well, if you've got a 2019 penny without a mint mark, hold on to your seats because this little copper coin could be worth up to $1 million. Yep, you heard that right. This teeny tiny penny could make you a big-time millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Is this some sort of joke? But trust me, this isn't a prank. Stick around, and I'll tell you everything you need to know about this rare penny and how you could cash in on it. Okay, so let's start with the basics. A 2019 penny without a mint mark. What's the deal? Well, normally, every penny has a little mint mark to show where it was made. If it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, it doesn't have a mint mark. But in 2019, something wild happened. The Philadelphia Mint accidentally produced a bunch of pennies without any mint mark at all. And here's where it gets crazy. Only a few of these coins slipped out into circulation, and now they're worth a lot more than the usual 1 cent. So, why are these pennies worth up to $1 million? Well, first of all, it's all about scarcity. This penny is so rare that collectors are desperate to get their hands on it. The mint mark mistake wasn't caught until after the coins had already been distributed, which means if you've got one, you've got a genuine coin error that makes it incredibly valuable. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds too good to be true. And I get it. When I first heard about this, I thought, okay, maybe it's a penny from some super special collection, but $1 million? Nah, that's gotta be a joke. But here's the kicker. I found out the hard way that I've actually got one of these 2019 mint markless pennies. Let me tell you a quick story. So, a few months ago, I was sorting through some loose change I'd found in a random drawer. We've all got that junk drawer, right? I'm sifting through the coins, and I find a 2019 penny with no mint mark. And I just threw it in my coin jar, thinking, it's just another penny. Then I saw a post online about this rare penny, and I thought, no way, not my penny. That would be way too lucky. But I decided to check. And folks, you will not believe it. I had it. I had a 2019 penny with no mint mark. I could hardly believe it. I immediately did some research, and sure enough, this little guy could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even up to $1 million depending on its condition and where you sell it. I nearly fainted. I thought, am I about to retire on a penny? Now, I know you're probably thinking, but how do I know if my 2019 penny is the one? What should I look for? Here's a pro tip for you. Check the absence of the mint mark. Normally, pennies from the Philadelphia Mint have a P mint mark on them, but these rare ones are missing that letter entirely. If you see a 2019 penny with no mint mark, you're looking at something special. But hold on. Before you get all excited and start digging through your couch cushions, keep in mind the condition of your penny is a huge factor. The closer your coin is to mint condition, the more it's worth. A shiny, flawless penny is far more valuable than a scratched-up, dirty one. And that's why collectors are willing to pay big bucks for coins in pristine condition. If you do find one of these rare pennies, it's worth getting it professionally graded by a trusted coin grading service. This can help you understand its true value and help you decide if you want to sell or hold on to it as an investment. So, to wrap things up, that 2019 penny with no mint mark could be worth $1 million if you're lucky enough to have one in good condition. Who knew something so small could make such a big difference, right? It just goes to show. You never know when you'll find a hidden treasure in your pocket change. But here's the thing. This isn't the only rare coin out there. There are tons of hidden gems in your change jar just waiting to be discovered, and I'm here to help you find them. So, if you want more tips on coins worth money, coin collecting strategies, and how to spot valuable coins in your own collection, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of the awesome tips I've got coming up. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below telling me if you've ever found a rare coin or had a crazy coin-related experience. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the smallest things, like a penny, can change your life. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. All right, I'm about to drop a bombshell on you. Ready? That penny you just threw in your pocket or left lying around your couch might be worth a fortune. No joke. Imagine this. You have a 2005 Abraham Lincoln penny, and it has no mint mark. That little guy could be worth a cool $1.3 million. Yep, you heard me right, million. So, let's get into it. This could change your coin game forever. Now, before you go running to your coin jar or checking the ones on your kitchen counter, let me break it down. In 2005, the U.S. Mint produced pennies with a little mint mark on them. Usually, you'll see either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But, in a weird twist of fate, some pennies in that year didn't get stamped with a mint mark. It's like the mint had a whoops moment. They just forgot. So, why does that matter? Well, These 2005 pennies without the mint mark are incredibly rare. We're talking extremely rare, like finding a unicorn rare. And because of that rarity, collectors are willing to pay big bucks for them. I mean, the current market value is around $1.3 million. That's right, $1.3 million. That's enough to buy a small island, or, just pay off student loans. But I digress. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if mine's the real deal? Well, let's go through some quick checks. Check the date. It's gotta be 2005. Number 2000 in SIXS. Number 2004's. It's gotta be 2005. Mint mark, or lack of one. Take a look at the bottom of the penny, right under Abraham Lincoln's portrait. If you see nothing, bingo, you might have something special. Condition, obviously. The better the condition, the higher the value. But even if it's a little scratched up, don't toss it yet. There's still potential. Here's the kicker. These pennies are so rare that only about a handful have ever been found in circulation. That makes them a true treasure, just sitting out there waiting to be discovered in your spare change. But hold up, before you get too excited and start pulling out every penny in your piggy bank. Not every 2005 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. There are a lot of fakes floating around, so you'll need to make sure you get an expert to authenticate it. Don't let anyone trick you into thinking a random penny is worth millions. It's all about knowing what to look for. Alright, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my old junk drawer. The one where receipts, paper clips, and random coins go to die, and I found this 2005 penny. No mint mark. At first, I just tossed it aside, thinking it was just another penny. But something made me stop and think. I remembered hearing about these no mint mark pennies. So, I did a little research, and bam, I got a little excited, thinking I had struck gold. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a very worn-out penny with a mint mark I missed. But hey, lesson learned. Never underestimate a coin. It was a fun moment, though, and it gave me a good story to share with you all today. So, moral of the story, keep your eyes peeled. That penny you might ignore could be worth way more than you think. Who knows? You might just be the lucky one who finds the next big one worth $1.3 million. But even if it's not a gold mine, you'll still have learned a ton about coins that could put you ahead of the game when you're out hunting for other valuable finds. If you enjoyed this little coin treasure hunt, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips and tricks on how to spot valuable coins hiding in plain sight, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on all the tips I've got coming. And hey, if you've got a coin story of your own, drop it in the comments below. Let's talk rare finds and maybe even laugh at some of the ridiculous coins we've all come across. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time with more coin knowledge that'll make you rich. Well, maybe not rich, but at least well informed. Catch you later.